I'm so glad to be here with all of you today. I know I sound a bit like a broken record, but once again, our eChapter Bruce Oss, Vice Chairman of the NASDAQ from the United States, and hosted by moi as I first annual International Capital Leadership Summit, an exclusive forum that's focused on entrepreneurs. I'm thrilled to tell you that this event is produced as a series of summit events, so it's got a lot of potential. And this one is going to be held on December 2nd and 3rd here in Beijing, and it's officially sold out. The event will be headlined by Bruce Oss, Vice Chairman of the NASDAQ from the United States, and hosted by moi as IPDN's President. The event is really expected to be our company's highest attended event, potentially drawing as many as 5,000 paid participants. That sets the stage for our company's 2018 growth plans. And in the coming months, I'll have much more to share with you about our company's 2018 growth plan. And I'm sure you're going to be as excited as I am because we are really building a brand that you all can be proud of. Which brings us to today's topic. Today, we're going to discuss the power of your personal brand and identify how you can leave a lasting impression on your current and your potential clients. Your personal brand matters, whether you have your own business or you're an executive or leader in corporate America. You want to be remembered for your outstanding work ethic and the quality that you bring to those around you. And just like all first impressions, you only get one shot, ladies, so you have to make sure you get it right. Without delay, I'm going to jump right in and give you my advice for building a personal brand to remember. Let's start with one. Get personal. The number one rule of marketing is to be relatable. Never distance yourself so far from your target audience that they struggle to relate to you or to find you intangible. The outside world may see me at my best when I'm in full glam with the hair laid perfectly for the TV cameras and the lashes, etc. But you guys, my members, my colleagues, and my prospective clients, they really get the real Star Jones. I've hosted board meetings and eChapter sessions with puffy eyes from my crazy allergies. You know about that. I've taken Skype business calls sick in bed or while on vacation with my family because it never stops. This is real life, and I'm human. And when given the chance, I actually get candid about my own weight loss surgery and my heart health and my overall well-being. I believe that in sharing my former health struggles, but more importantly, I really love sharing how I overcame them and took control of my life. I think my ability to be authentic and to, as they say, keep it real has allowed me to personally connect to literally thousands of women, and my personal brand has really benefited from it. Number two, do not take shortcuts. Nowadays, I think you'd agree, everyone is looking for the best deal when it comes to their brand, the cheapest website. They want to hire unpaid interns for everything. They want some cheap headshots. Enough already. Invest in yourself, ladies. Remember, it's all about the first impression. And I'm all for a good bargain. You know me, if the quality is exceptional. But if you're getting less than adequate service to save money, you're hurting your brand. Your website and all branding materials, they need to be meticulous. Your logo and headshot should be gorgeous and memorable. In most cases, people decide if they want to work with you or not solely based on your website and your online presence nowadays. I urge you to put your best foot forward and invest in your branding so that you can shine and appear credible. Number three, have a winning team. Now, everybody knows that a winning team is a recurring discussion here in our eChapters, and for good reason. Your team is a direct representation of you and your leadership. Your team directly impacts your personal brand. Many times your clients are not directly interacting with you, but with those who represent you. So making sure your team stays on mission, are always professional, and are trained and equipped to provide services that are consistent with your professional style and manner will be the key in building a successful brand. Number four, deliver results. Okay. There is no better impression you can provide than to deliver excellent results. If you want return business, deliver results. If you want referrals, deliver results. If you want to rise and stay above your competitors, provide even better results. Over-delivery is not cliche. It is sound business advice. Go beyond your duties and wow your customers every time, and your personal brand will be associated with excellence. And number 5, evolve. Nothing hurts a brand more than their ability to, or I should say, more than their inability to roll with the times. Please forget the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Make sure you are keeping up with current technology, social media, business platforms, and that your product is continuously growing with the evolving needs of your client base. There is no cookie cutter way to run your business. Never be stagnant because you're comfortable. Your morals, integrity, and hard work ethic can be unchanging and should be. But the way you appeal and serve your clients must evolve with the times. Well, that's how I protect my personal brand, ladies. And we're just getting started. During this session, you will learn from the best on how to build your own star brand to remember. Your brand is working and drawing people in even when you're asleep. If you're really perfecting your brand, it will run and represent you even after you're gone. Your brand is indeed your legacy. I hope you're ready to learn more in a few minutes. I will be rooting for your phenomenal brand from afar. Enjoy the rest of your days, ladies, and I'm going to encourage you to dream, rise, and lead as you build that brand.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Star. It's great information, right, ladies? As always. And welcome, everyone. Our live e-chapters are held once a month, and our replays held bi-weekly, either at noon or 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can come back, listen again, and live network with new attendees from around the country. The eChapter has taken the stage, right? Not only fostering real-time networking, but has also developed into offline, in-person connections and business contacts. We also hope you are taking advantage of another extremely popular NEPW event, the eChapter, but the new one is e-coaching. So we hope you're joining us for the e-coaching, which offers exclusive coaching on relevant topics from an NAPW expert and even more networking opportunities. Please look out for the invites and promotions via email, on social media, or our website. Go to napw.com and follow the e-coaching chapter. We encourage you to carve out the time to keep coming back to online events because it is easy and it's an ability to, and it helps you in your abilities to network from your office. You can network from your office, from while you're on the road, and from the comfort of your own home. So, ladies, you need to join us in this two e-chapters and e-coaching events. In the chat room with you today are some additional corporate moderators to assist you or just chat with you along the way of this event today. They are Samantha. Samantha is our program and engagement manager who will do her best to offer technical support if needed. And sometimes we really need it. So thank you, Samantha, for always being there to help everybody. And in addition, we have our local chapter representatives. We have Ali. Ali is our Miami chapter president, and she oversees the eastern region of NEPW. We have Natalie. She's our Georgia chapter president and in Atlanta, and she's the central regional manager. So both ladies are amazing, and they will guide you in any question you have in relation to the local chapters, meetings and activities and all that. So during our panel discussion today, we will see several times a poll. It's like a little pop-up window that will show on your screen and during our discussion. So please take a minute, a second or so to answer the questions because we're going to share them after what is the input that we get from all of you. Okay, so they're very important questions. So we hope you are filling out that poll. It's time now to introduce to you our NEPW panel that will be sharing their insights on our topic for today. And what a wonderful topic, ladies, so important for us, defining and celebrating your personal brand. I would like to introduce to you to our first panelist. We have Minx. Are you there? Hi, Minx. Has a master certificate. Hi, Minx. So Minx is a master certified coach. Her credentials come through the International Coach Federation with additional training and certifications in such cutting edge technologies as MBTI, the print, appreciative inquiry, emotional intelligence, that's so important for us ladies, the art of convening, authentic happiness coaching, I love that, and the CIQ, conversational intelligence. We need so much help. Mink is a published author of 12 books, motivational speaker, workshop designer, and facilitator. She focuses on values based on empowerment, living a fulfilling life, a self-awareness, and extraordinary self-care. She is also a community volunteer, an activist, including current member and past president of Executive Women of the Palm Beach um, for 2013 to 2014. She's a board member of the Women's Foundation to Palm Beach County since 2007 and also a member of the Leadership Palm Beach County. Mix is also the 2013 recipient of the Giraffe Award. And listen to this because it's wonderful. Presented by the Women's Chamber of Commerce to women who stick their necks out for others. Isn't this incredible? Welcome, Mix. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, so we have our next panelist. We have Kay. Kay is a speaker with a universal message. She has been featured in major media, including the Washington Post, the Chicago Tribune, the Men's Fitness magazine, Newsday, and television and radio stations as a health and weight loss coach and a dietitian nutritionist. She was frequent speaker at conferences and professional meetings during 28 years of public service for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Service. As a business owner since 2011, she now addresses inner and outer health issues with private clients. Through her personal and coaching experience, Kay has discovered that many people have secrets. These are half-buried obstacles that cause people to sabotage themselves in ways that keep their goals and well-being out of reach. Through her work as a coach, Kay has helped others overcome these obstacles. Wonderful. During presentations, Kay shares details on how to identify the source of expensive habits and behaviors that cause us to sabotage ourselves, how to disrupt old patterns and find a new path with a whole set of opportunities in our health, relationships, and business. Welcome, Kay.
Thank you.
Okay, and the last but not least, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Christy Monk. Dr. Monk possibly impacts and influences the lives of those she meets. She's passionate about training women how to amplify their influence, communicate confidently, and lead out loud without compromising who they are. Dr. Monk is the founder of Women with Beauty, Brains, and Boundaries. I love that, Boundaries. The Workplace Leadership Institute and the Confidence Suite. Dr. Monk trains women how to use their core value systems so they're more influential, effective, confident, and productive contributors in the workplace and their communities. Dr. Monk calls rocking your ICE, influence plus confidence equals STEAM. While learning to stay, STAY, when women learn to stay, they stand in their power unapologetically. They take control of their thoughts and actions, access whose help they need, and yield to their authenticity. This is wonderful. Dr. Christy Monk is a doctor of management. Her published work is entitled Workplace Bullying, Workplace Mediation, Change Management, and Life Purpose Coaching. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Monk, and welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start our panel discussion by jumping right into the nitty-gritty. This is the first question, and I think it's a very important question. And what traits, mindset, and thought processes would you describe one should start with to help clearly begin defining your personal brand? Dr. Monk, let's start with you.
Oh, I was not prepared. Hold on. I'm getting my thing back. So, sorry,
That's okay.
I can't. We're good. Repeat your question. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's start again. So the process.
I didn't hear the question.
Yes, I'm going to repeat it to you, no problem. What traits, mindset, and thought processes would you describe one should start with to help clearly begin defining your personal brand?
So I think in defining your personal brand, you first need to take a current assessment of where you are. Oftentimes I find that it's the feedback that we are not receptive to, which kind of gives us an indication of what our personal brand is saying for us. And your personal brand is all about perception. So when you look internally, how are you showing up? Are you just a silent partner? Are you being the voice and not the echo? Everything is about perception. So I would say holistically, what feedback have you gotten that you just dismissed? And what feedback have you gotten that actually speaks to your strengths? And you have to mirror those with your core values. So I speak about the core value system. I think that is the key navigation.
Are we losing you, Minx? I mean, Dr. Monk, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, great, great, great. Wonderful. So, Kay, what is your thoughts on this? Is Kay there?
Yes, here I
Hi,
am.
Kay.
Hi. Well, was so excited to hear Star Jones talk about just be yourself. I mean, that mirrors my thoughts on personal branding is really about showing up fully. And the thing is, though, how do you really do that? And what I believe is important is looking inside ourselves to find out who we really are. And a lot of people in business maybe don't take the time to look inside. And as a result, they don't really know deeply what their mission is, and they make a lot of mistakes. So not knowing how to look inside and the value of it, I think, is really, really an important problem for us and a possible solution. And I loved what Christy Monk said about standing in your truth. I mean, when you know who you really are, then you can stand in your truth.
Wonderful, Kay. Thank you for your words. They're very powerful. Minx, what do you think about all this?
So I agree with both Christy and Kay. It's about who in the world you are before you ever think about what in the world you do or try to promote it. Your strengths, your values, interests, your passions are the foundation for creating a personal brand. Years ago, 30 years ago, I wrote a series of workbooks. It was almost 800 pages on discovering your values. Fortunately, you fast forward and Martin Seligman and the whole positive psychology team came out with something called a signature strengths assessment, which is one of several different assessments you can take to discover your values. When you can stand in your truth, in what you believe in, and be really clear about it, you're well on your way to your brand. The other thing I'd want to add to that is it's about building trust, not just in your expertise, but in your sincere commitment to be of service.
I like that. Very good. Thank you so much. That is so wonderful. Let me see if we have a result here. We have a poll going on that is your, and it's blank, to reflect the brand you would like to be known for. And we said your social media page, your digital footprint, your LinkedIn page, or your Facebook profile. And so far, the majority said that is your digital footprint should reflect the brand you would like to be known for. So good job, ladies. I think that was the right answer. Okay, so let's move to our second question today. And I'm going to start with Kay. And once your personal brand is established, how does it help you define what your next business decision should be?
Well, I'd like to just step back a minute and look at branding overall. And the trend in branding has gone from being sales and self-promotion oriented to be something a little bit more aspirational. And for example, with brand identity, it's much more about what do you stand for as an organization. And then there is brand essence, and that is the soul of the brand. So what I like to think about is if we look inside to what is our soul telling us, we're going to be finding what is compelling, energizing, and inspiring. And if we can find that, we can bring that back out into the world, and we can bring that to our business, and then the decisions that we make are going to just be the very next step for being able to inspire ourselves. And when we inspire ourselves, we can inspire other people.
And I think that's kind of our mission, right? To be inspiring our leaders and inspiring our people that are around us. So thank you, Kay. Minx, are you still with us? I think we kind of lost her. So Christy, let's continue with you.
Okay, well, for me, I still link everything back to your core value system because it's important to know what your non-negotiables are and, the things that you're willing to accept. And a lot of times we take on positions or clients who do not even mirror what we believe. So I think in order to have that guidance for your next business decision, you really need to take a step back and do your own personal SWOT analysis and even look at what your core values are. Because if honesty is very high on your core values list and you're dealing with someone who wants you to do something unethical, especially as a contractor, it goes against who you are. So those aren't the type of people you want to do business with. So be clear on what your non-negotiables are.
I like that non-negotiables, right? It's having very clear who you are and what you want to accomplish. So very clear message, Dr. Monk. Thank you. And is Mix back or we lost her completely? Meanwhile, I'm going to read the poll that we're right now measuring, and I think we even got an answer before I was going to read it. So our body language, oh my God, body language, right? That is so important, and we sometimes don't pay attention to it, and it goes back to what Dr. Monk was saying about perception and all that. So our body language is makes up what percentage? So we have the option 93, 38, 55, or 7% of our nonverbal communication component. So it's so interesting. Everybody said it's 93% of our nonverbal communication component. So that's so true. We can have a beautiful message, but if our body language is transmitting a different thing, completely we're just not going to be connecting with anybody. So ladies, you are on the spot.
So,
Okay, so
Ruth, can I add
yes.
something to that? It was kind of a trick question. It was my poll. That was my question. So, yes, 93% of our nonverbal is the piece of the communication that, well, nonverbal communication makes up 93% of our communication. 55% of it is the body language, and 38% is tone and voice. So it was kind of a trick question. So either way, depending on how you read it, but the correct answer is 55.
Oh, doctor, why don't you repeat this again so it's clear because it was taken kind of in two ways. So can you clarify again just to make sure that everybody understood what you were trying to do with this question?
Yes. Okay. So the nonverbal communication aspect makes up 93% of how we communicate. 55% of the nonverbal component is actually body language. 38% is tone. So I just want to make sure that when we break it out, yes, it does equal to 93%, 93%, but for body language, it is the biggest component of everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that clarification. Mix, do we have you? Can we hear you? Do you hear us? Okay, so we're going to continue. Okay, so I'm going to continue with our next question. Okay, so we're now, this question, let's start with Mix, if she's available. If not, Dr. Monk, be ready for this one. How do you cultivate an online presence to help establish your personal brand, and what impact does it have if your online footprint is not strong enough? Dr. Monk?
Oh, okay. Your online presence is everything. Most organizations now are using social media platforms just to even take a peek into whom they're hiring. It's all about your personality. So we think that we can go out there and delete posts and all of that. You know, it's gone, but it's not gone. And then think about 3 degrees of separation. Someone knows someone that you that you know. So there's nothing private. So you want to make sure that your social media, your digital footprint literally reflects who you want people to see, because social media right now is all about, again, perception. So people see you looking good, they feel you're successful. And if they see you with the drinks in your hand and you're not on vacation, it just sets that tone. So be very, very careful about what you're posting on social media.
Very important comment. Kay, do we have you with us? What is your opinion on this?
I'm here, and I'd like to step back a moment and talk about presence overall before we go to online presence.
Okay.
And so, one of the things that if we're going to be the creator of our own business and our own life, it really requires us to be in the moment. And so if we're thinking about the future or living in the past, we're missing out on a whole lot of opportunities, and we're kind of, the gold treasure is in the moment. So let's translate that into online presence. What does that mean for online presence? To me, what it means is video. When we can shine, we can show up, people will see us, we're animated, we are really able to do that, be inspirational and really convey what's important to us. And so I would say the most important thing people are looking for is, how are you showing up in video? And how often are you showing up in video?
Very good, Kay. And Mix, you still there? We see you, but we can't hear you. I think she's having audio problem. Yes, finally. Great. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
So frustrating. So
To speak to the online presence, first of all, I agree with Kay that our full presence is where we begin, how we show up in general. In terms of online presence, yes, it's how we get to be seen and known in the modern day and age. But I also want to speak to being active in your community and your local organizations. We need to be seen, known, and we need to engage fully with the people around us. If you enjoy public speaking, that's another way to do it. If you are like I am and not particularly techie, then hire an expert to deal with the website. And as Star said in her opening remarks, hire someone who's really good. And create a website that works for you. It needs to be one that speaks to who you are, that's representative of you, not just lots of bells and whistles, but a place where you get to be known. If, for example, on my website, I have a bunch of videos where I just talk to people. I have areas where I offer suggestions and poetry. And the other thing that I do in terms of it's not so much an online presence as I send out a newsletter because I find it personal. I send out something called Balance Points. They come out every other week. And they're a way for people to know what's up, what's on my mind, some gem that I think is worth thinking about for the week. So it's a way to stay present in the face of my clients and those that I interact with. So now we
Excellent.
can, right? So
Yes, Minx, we heard you perfectly. Thank you so much. I'm happy you're back. Okay, so our next question is, we all know how important body language is, right? It can describe someone as being uptight. I think it's important to go over the impact body language can have on your personal brand. And so let's start with Minx.
Okay, so where I want to start is with a funny story. About 20 years ago, when the wrinkles were starting to appear, whenever I smiled, they smiled back at me in the mirror. I had another friend going through the same issue as I was, and we made a pact with each other that every day we wouldn't leave the mirror until we could see our own radiance shining through. So both of us, and we've done it. This is a lot of years now, and every day we both still hold to this ritual of feeling good and comfortable in our body, in our skin, in our way of being. See ourselves radiant first, because whatever body language we use after that comes from this essential self that we're presenting. So yes, of course we know, cross your arms over your chest, and that you don't want to have your foot jumping up and down when you're talking because it looks so distracting and looks like you're distracted. But beyond that, you really want your whole presence to glow. The other thing that I would say is I'm a strong advocate of extraordinary self-care. To be comfortable in your body, you've got to take care of your body. My background is in nutrition. I've been involved with health and wellness for 40 years. And it starts with feeling good in and about your own body and the way you present yourself. The last thing I want to say is remember to smile. There's a wonderful exercise where every morning before you get out of bed, the first thing you do is take about a minute to have a smile appear on your face. Let it grow very, very slowly until you have this full grin on your face. Because what happens is it's the chicken and the egg. It doesn't matter which comes first, whether something happens and you smile or whether you smile and then you set the tone of your body. You give your body a message to walk out into the world with a smiling attitude. Same thing before you go to sleep at night. Smile before, just when you're turning out the light, and then feed your dreams with positive thoughts. It's a great way to go to sleep.
That was performance.
Thank you.
Kay, are you there? Can you share with us?
Yes, and thank you. I want to thank Mings for that. Tonight I'm going to smile before I turn out my light. I appreciate that. Well, you know, the interesting thing is that we make sweeping judgments based on our body language. I found a wonderful resource that I want to tell everybody about I don't know if you've heard about Amy Cuddy, but she has a TED Talk on body language, and she talks about how you can tweak your body language that can change the whole way your life unfolds. And it's particularly true when you're you're getting ready for situations where you're going to be evaluated, like a job interview, networking, speaking, just like we are here, that you can actually take 2 minutes to stand in your power by doing things like the victory pose or Wonder Woman, and you hold this for 2 minutes. And the studies they've done have shown that it changes your hormones, and it changes what's in your physical body, which changes what's in your brain, which changes your behavior and changes your results. So it's these are things that can easily be done, and I do this every day now, and it does really help me stand in my power. And when you do this, you can't help but feel good, right? So that's what I would love to share, and everyone should take a look at Amy Cuddy's TED Talk.
Great recommendation. Thank you so much, Kay. Christy, Dr. Monk? Do we have you or lost you? Especially this topic that you were referring to. So meanwhile, I'm going to read a little bit about this poll that we have right now. Which of the following characteristics will you prefer your leaders adopt to deal with the complex work environment of today? So there are long questions here that we will see the answers very soon of our participants. Oh, we have the poll right now. So which of the following characteristics would you prefer your leaders adopt to deal with the complex work environment of today? So I think the highest vote here is the first one. It's very, oh my God, it's like 10, 7, 8, 7%. It's really cut in 4 pieces, the pie. So the one that looks like the winner says leaders should incorporate more team building events that team members can attend together away from the office to build camaraderie among the group. So that's number 1. And number 2, I'm going to read number 2. Leaders should make an effort to get to know their employees using management by walking around and calling remote employees to show an interest. Okay, so those are the two that got the majority. Okay, so we're going to continue with our next question is, now that we've established the tools and mindset and steps needed to develop a personal brand to help leverage ourselves both personally and professionally, how can we clearly define everything we've just learned? And more importantly, how do we now apply them in our world? So let's see, Minx, you want to start with that one?
Sure. So let's break it down into the pieces based on the questions that we were speaking about. So the first has to do to establish your brand. You need to know thyself ongoingly. You truly need to keep a finger on the pulse of your own life and be clear about who you are. That means reflect, keep a journal if you're willing, dialogue with significant others in your life, dialogue with coaches and dialogue in women's groups, because all of these are powerful resources for knowing who you are. Another thing is tell powerful stories about yourself. Watch what you say about yourself, because your language makes all the difference in how you show up and how you present yourself. Identify your signature strengths and use them as a compass to make wise choices. And remember the piece about building trust in your commitment and your caring, as well as your expertise. Then the next piece had to do with defining your next business decision. Use a litmus test of joy and enthusiasm. Find that sweet spot where what you know and your passion and what the world needs meet, because that's where your success will be. In terms of your online presence, let it reflect who you are, not be a cookie cutter. Make sure that people can see the real you showing through. And body language speaks volumes. Be comfortable in your own skin, smile. And here's a tip that I love that someone taught me, a great public speaker years ago. Before you go on stage or into a room or anywhere where you have to show up with full presence, take a moment to kind of step out of the small self that you might be carrying around, the little negative notions or chatter that's going on in the back of your mind. Step out of that and then step into a cloak of your own magnificence. Just see yourself, see your best self, and step into that. And then with that mantle around you, walk into the room or onto the stage. Thank you.
Nice. Very good. Kay, tell us.
Yeah, so if we're going to free ourselves to be ourselves, that's what our personal brand is going to show up as, freedom. We are truly showing our happiness and, as we said, inspiration. And sometimes what it takes, though, is transforming the past, those old personas, those old beliefs, feelings, and behaviors that are weighing us down, and that really it's like old baggage. So when we can shed those the past and shed those personas, we are free to be ourselves, and we are free to truly celebrate ourselves. The question is, how do we do that? And as I had mentioned before, the idea of looking inside and introspection, if we're going to do that, what we want to look for is how do we feel, and how do we want to feel? And what do we want to have happen in our lives? So we can pre-pave our lives. We can shape our lives. And so what I do every day, and I have my clients do as well, is set an intention for the day. You know, what do I want to feel today? What don't I want to feel today? What do I want to have happen? What don't I want to have happen? And in that way, we're setting the stage to be able to celebrate who we are and really connect well with other people while speaking our truth and instead of silencing ourselves and standing in our truth. And I think that if we do that, we can't help but connect with and influence other people in a way where they're going to feel safe and that they can trust you and that they have confidence in you as their partner.
Thank you, Kay. That was so beautiful. Dr. Monk, do we have you back? I hope. No, I think we're still trying to find her. Okay. So I just
I'd love to add something to what Kay said, because I think that set an intention for the day is beautiful. And beyond that, one of the things that I do every morning is I journal before I ever get out of bed, what will make today wonderful? Mm-hmm. So I put that positive mindset into my whole being before I ever step out of bed, which speaks to what Kay is saying, and that other, beyond intention, that other piece of what will make today wonderful. It's part of the whole positive psychology mindset to start a day that way. So just wanted to add that into the mix. Thanks.
I love it, Minx. Thank you so much. So before we wrap our panel discussion, I would like to share each of our panelists' Her book recommendation is Flourish by Martin Seligman. Flourish builds on Dr. Seligman's game-changing work on optimism, motivation, and character to show how to get the most out of life, unveiling an electrifying new theory of what makes a good life for individuals, for communities, and for nations. In a fascinating evolution of thought and practice, Flourish refines what positive psychology is all about. This is wonderful, Mix. Thank you for that recommendation. And Kay's recommendation is LinkedIn for Personal Branding, The Ultimate Guide by Sandra Long. Sorry for that reminder that came out. Long's book provides a comprehensive view of personal branding using LinkedIn's profile. Also, ladies, if you have any question regarding your membership, including your benefits, how to navigate the website, upgrades and renewals, or any upcoming event in person or online, please see the emails listed now on the PowerPoint deck for you to reach out and have your questions answered. And finally, post eChapters. Here are 3 things you should do to continue putting your NAPW membership to work. Connect with at least 3 members, post the eChapter. The attendee list is coming your way. Post eChapter. Make sure you sign up for the next eChapter or eCoaching event, and don't forget to take the post eChapter survey. Your feedback is very important to us and assists us in enhancing your member experience. Thank you everyone for another